Traders, Brian here, founder of A+Setups, and in this short video today, I want to talk about the truth about trading setups. So in this video, I want to just hammer home the concept and the actual fact, the way I see it, about why good setups aren't good enough. So after 3+ years of development, our trading setups inside of our NQ scalping program are about as refined as they can get. And the next evolution isn't what setup to trade, it's when to look and why. That's what we want to talk about. All right, so before we get started, here's a disclaimer. Make sure you pause and read this. Let's get right into it. Okay. We're going to do a side-by-side chart here today just so I can demonstrate some things. Let me go back to this. So where we are now. So 3+ years ago, I set out to develop an NQ scalping program. And right now what I've done is our setups revolve around 3 core trade types. Each of our setups have black and white rules backed by statistical profiles. So we have a shallow pullback, which is the jiggle. We have deep pullbacks, which is the reverse mullet, and we have the deepest pullbacks inside of a trend, and they're the puncture trade. All those are categorized, all have black and white rules. You can recognize them as they're setting up. They all make sense. So the key point for this is each of these work, but they've been operating as separate tools, and that's where we are in the program. There's only so much I can do when I'm developing a program, and it takes a while to build this stuff out. But this is where we're at. Okay, so what's coming next? Well, within the next 30 days, some important changes are taking place. We're going to be introducing what we call the flagship trading model. It's where all 3 of our primary setups are unified into one system. We have the best performing alignment elements combined into a single framework. So what's new is these advanced alignment filters are included inside of this trading model. We have multiple selectable variations for all of your parameters and visuals depending on your style. So basically what I'm saying is everything's fully customizable. So the key message here is instead of choosing between the setups, you'll have one adaptable model that captures the transition between the shallowest and the deepest pullbacks with the intent of being used inside of a contextual framework. Oh my goodness, what does that mean? Well, let's just take a look here. So now I have these broken down 3 tabs here, 3 different charts just to show you. And yes, these are well-chosen examples because I want you to see what right looks like. But our software has a lot of features, one being this little setup status panel. It's only tuned right now for the jiggle, but this is our shallowest pullback. You'll see it, our software plots an arrow. It's in alignment with cumulative delta and stochastics. These have been these alignment filters have survived what I call the survival of the fittest. Tens of thousands of observations on dozens of indicators to see which alignments are the best for each category. So every alignment is different between shallow, deep, and the deepest. But here you'll see our software prints an arrow, and inside this arrow, if you have it selected, this will show up as a signal plot for those of you that use Predator X, Markers Plus, or if you backtest using Logic Lab. Depending on what you have set up in this software, if you have this arrow tied to filter where it only will show an arrow if it's in alignment with cumulative delta and the stochastics, that's what this arrow represents. That's exactly what it represents in this example. So you'll only see a jiggle setup when it's in alignment with these 2 features here, which improve the statistical profile of the jiggle. Okay, so that's really important. If you don't want it aligned, just deselect those and you'll see an arrow based on your selections. All right, so this is a shallow pullback. Here's a deep pullback, the reverse mullet. I have mine set up to show a dot. It's in alignment with two features here. You can see this is the status bar for the reverse mullet. And right now it's just set up to be in alignment with two features here. All right, and here is the deepest pullback, a puncture trade. So the puncture trade, you can select this to either be a raw puncture trade or in alignment with our mean, which is these blue dotted lines here, or our top and bottom pickers. So you can see this signal, it prints the triangle when the two features, this mean line plus the top picker, is in alignment. Okay, so a lot of selectable features inside of this, and the neat thing is it has some really good alignment tools already built in. Okay, now the realization, the truth behind this is, after all of the years of development, I can't meaningfully improve these setups anymore. The setups are the setups, and the setups alone will only take us so far. And that's the truth. So our transition is shifting. Our focus is shifting going forward. For those of you that have been in the room, I've traded for over 4+ decades. The last 15 years, I've been very, very active in options and pairs trading, swing trade setups. In 15 years, the setups that I built in swing trade, they haven't changed once. They're on the shelf, ready to use. Where I've gotten a lot better in my swing trading program is identifying when to look for one of my setups, because you can't do it linearly. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. So you have to know when to look for setups, and you have to work on defining the environment. And that's where we're at in our scalping program. So future direction going forward, we're going to focus on two things: when to look for one of our setups and why the setup is worth taking. Okay, again, I can't improve the setups anymore. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and they will for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years if I'm still around trading. So far in this shift, we've got some early developments that we're already implementing in real-time trading in my funded accounts, in evals, and other accounts that we may be trading. One of those is simple trendline breaks. Another is extreme divergences. These are all context-based confirmations that let us know when to look for a setup. And I'm going to give you an example soon. So it's same setups going forward, but smarter timing and better context. That is the message. Again, it's taken me 3 years to get where I am in the scalping program. The next 12 to 18 months, we're going to be really focused on developing the black and white, why and when. That's crucial. But another super important thing that we're going to be doing, the next evolutionary phase, is we're going to be introducing what I'm calling timing windows. And it's structured periods where theoretical probabilities are the highest. Again, when to look for our setup. It's going to be designed to eliminate the randomness and overtrading. That's what we want to get away from. In closing here, this is going to be the next evolution, not just finding trades, because our setups occur all day long, but understanding when they matter. That's going to be the most crucial thing. All right, so you've taken a look at the three categories: the shallow, the deep, and the deepest. So again, what we're doing in the room right now is, let me just bring this chart up. This is just a simple trend line chart that I use to discern when to look for one of the setups. And I'm trading this in funded accounts every single day. Now let me, okay, we got global here. Let's change this to global just so I can show you. There it is, sorry. All right, so let's take a look here on this. I've just drawn a trend line. These trend lines happen all day long. You can just draw them. I only need one in my funded accounts. One winning trade and I'm done for the day. But here's just a simple trend line. Anybody can draw it. There's no magic to it. We break and we look for the first setup. Here we have a big pullback. Is Was that a, let's get back here. Was that a shallow pullback? Absolutely not. Was it a deep pullback? No, it wasn't a deep pullback. How about the deepest pullback? Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. That's it right there. Let me change that so you don't think I'm hoodwinking you. So you see, our software prints a triangle. We trend line broke, we came into a puncture trade, and that was the trade. I mean, you can just keep drawing trend lines just to try to get, for like me, for my one trade. Here's another one, follows it down. We get the trend line break, we come back up. All right, is this the deepest pullback? Nope. Is it a shallow pullback? No. Is it a deep pullback, a reverse mullet? Absolutely. Software prints an arrow there for an entry. So you have all the rules for these for these setups, and what helps is that we have a setup status panel, and this is just broken down for each individual setup, but all of our setups will be on one chart, and you'll have the jiggle, you'll have the reverse mullet, and the puncture trade, all three categories on one setup status panel. They're just broken down now because I've got the setup separated on three charts. Anyway, that's what we have going. That's the reason for the shift. And, if you want to be part of the evolution, check it out. Kick the tires. I'll have a link below so that you can access the links to learn a little bit more about our setups, about what we do. If you're new and you haven't ever seen us before, I post a lot of stuff in Patreon and on A Plus Trader X. So you can contact me here, alphaplussetups@gmail, if you have any questions, and here are our other social media channels. So all the information about how to join will be in the links below. Anyway, thanks for taking time to watch this video. That's all I have for today. Hope to see you in the room, and as always, good luck in your trading.